You're on.
All right, 2015 Honda Fit. This customer's complaint is that her coolant light is coming on. I took a bunch of pictures. There's no actual coolant leaking on the vehicle. We did do a radiator in this a number of months back, and then she came back and she said at that time that that her husband added a gallon and a half of coolant. The system only holds like almost two, if that. So that was a concern. She said that her light on these right here, Honda, it's blue on your coolant light until the vehicle comes up to operating temperature, then it goes off. If the vehicle overheats, there's actually another one on there that does come on, and that one right there is for that the car's overheating. That being said, the customer stated a couple days ago or 2 weeks ago, a week ago, whatever, that she noticed that the light had flashed. Her husband had added coolant. Now, what happens is you don't have to add coolant to this car. It's just unless it's leaking. Brought it in today. I took a number of pictures. It's not leaking coolant anywhere. When I did remove the radiator cap, a lot of pressure was relieved, and I towed this car in, and I never started it. Brought it in here, so there should be no pressure in the system. Now, coolant didn't spew out, just air pressure. So that being said, I automatically came over and I pulled all the plugs. As you can see right here, and this was similar to what happened the last time when she came here previously, which we did a water pump because it's the same thing. She had number 3 and number 2 spark plugs were carboned. Now these have about 1,400 miles, give or take, on the car, but as you can see, number 1 and number 4 are actually look pretty good. Number 3 and number 2 are carbon fouled, and this could be an oil consumption or a head gasket because you can't really tell. That coming over, I just automatically hooked up my tool. I have a cylinder leak down test, which is supposed to see how much pressure the system's actually losing. Because sometimes it takes a period of time, what I do is I have like a little balloon on the radiator cap, and I have for my test tool. So if there is pressure, there should be no pressure leaking into the cooling system. But if there is an issue. Anyway, so that being said, I'm going to add pressure to the system, and I did listen for it before I put this on, and I didn't hear anything leaking. So this is leaking into. It's not through the exhaust valve, and it's not through the intake valves. It's an internal leak, which is into the cooling, and that's probably why it's losing pressure. All right, so let me see. All right, right now I'm going to start adding pressure. I have to hold the crankshaft, that's why I'm here, so that it doesn't spin. All right, so can you open that valve on that? Just to see, I actually had it turned so that the balloon wouldn't have air in it. There you go. So, turn this off. Relieve the pressure. Like you can see, this is from the radiator. So there's no... This is from the radiator cap. What I do is I have a tool that goes onto here, and then what we'll do is we hook it back up just so you can see, It's kind of a quicker test. This way, compression tests work good, but if it's leaking, you do a leak down test and it's leaking. You see how I have 30 PSI in the cylinder. We'll go to 40, we'll go to 50. So it's not leaking past the valves, it's leaking into the cooling system. Yeah, we're losing. Hold on, I went past top of the side. So 1 second, I'll redo it again. Okay, bring it back over. the cylinder, so you're not getting anything. I'm just gonna add 30 psi. Bring this back up. Leaking in there? Yep. So you can see. Right, you can see it? Mm-hmm. Alright. Let's put a little more in there. See if we can blow it up. So, it's got a head gasket. And thank you for watching Parker Automotive. It's just a little bit of a trick. Saves a lot of time doing a compression test, trying to figure out is this valve's not seating correctly. We know by, let's just see if pressure shoots out of this. We know for a fact that it's, this is just a little trick. I had a broken tool and then I hooked that on there. Yeah, so, and another thing you can sometimes, if you know, we do that here because you can't just say, but if you say, oh yeah, it's a head gasket, how do you prove it? You gotta break it down to failure. You can smell the carbon buildup or the carbon monoxide inside of the waste is inside there, you can smell it. So that being said, thank you for watching Parker Automotive. God bless you and God bless America. Stay safe.